good credit to be able to do that, that may affect you. So just be cautious of those things. And this is more specifically geared towards just credit cards. And so I would caution anybody not to use credit cards because they can be dangerous. It can be very slippery slope. And you know, for some people, they're very manageable. Some people can use credit cards for their daily expenses. They know their income and they know their expenses, so they know they can pay that off at the end of the month. You know, if you can do that, if you have the discipline to do that, I would say that's okay. But otherwise, you want to be cautious because it's really easy to swipe a credit card and then forget how much you charged, and then you get that bill at the end of the month and go, oh, that hurts. So I would say, you know, limit to one card. Shop for the best card, so you want to look for one. I mean, no credit card interest rates are good. They're all high. Even if they start out low, they're going to go high later. But if you are going to get a credit card, looking for the lowest one possible, but always approaching it from the perspective of you're going to pay off what you charge each month. You want to look for one that doesn't charge an annual fee, because there are plenty out there that don't. And then a secure card. So they're coming up with some new technology, like cards that have special chips in them, and they're doing some more things to keep those safe. So you just want to be aware of that too. Again, don't charge anything that you can't pay for. So if you want to buy something for $100 on your credit card, but you know at the end of the month when that bill comes, you're not going to have $100, then probably not something that you should charge. And then paying your monthly bill on time, because you know, most credit cards, when it comes to the interest rate you're paying, you're going to be looking at like the 16, 18, 20%, maybe even higher depending on your credit. And that money adds up very, very quickly. So you just want to be really cautious of those things. Okay, so when it comes to credit, because maybe some of you guys are in a situation where you have some credit card debt. And that's okay, because there are ways to get out of it. I mean, you want to work towards getting out of it because it can just snowball and get bigger and bigger and bigger. But paying the balance in full. If you're in a situation where you've got credit card debt and you can't do that, paying as much as you can over the minimum balance. Because if you've ever looked at, I've seen information out there about credit cards. If you pay only the minimum balance, depending on how much you owe, it takes a long, long time to pay off that balance. So, you know, maybe you're in a situation where you've got some debt. If you can pay an extra $5 a month, you know, that's going to add up. You know, just paying whatever you can over the minimum balance just to start paying those debts down. Thinking of your credit card as a loan, because really that's what it is. You're buying something and not paying for it right now, so essentially you're being loaned the money to do that. So keep that in your mind. Really, anytime you swipe that credit card, you're taking out a loan for that amount, and you will pay interest on it. I mean, unless you pay it off immediately. You know, one thing you can do is subtract credit card purchases from your checking account. So if you're someone who, you know, balances your checkbook and you know that you're going to charge something, just somehow making a note that that money needs to come out of your account. And then most cards will offer you cash advances. Again, I would caution against those because you pay high interest rates on those. Okay, so here's a few signs of trouble when it comes to debt. So we'll go through these. If you guys can put check marks by any of those that you're in those situations, I would tell you not to panic, but just start thinking about, okay, how can I be working my way in the other direction? So if you have credit cards or loans or student debt and you don't know how much you owe, that can be a sign of trouble. You want to always be aware of that. Sometimes when it comes to finances, that stuff can be scary, and it's almost easier just to not pay attention to it. So, you know, if you're in a situation where you need to work and get yourself out of debt, one of the first things, the most important things that you need to do is find out exactly where you're at. And that number may be scary, but as long as you don't know what that number is, then you're not going to do very well making progress to get out of it. Using credit cards to pay bills. Again, if you do this because, you know at the end of the month that you've got the money, you know, there are some people that do that and are fine. But if you are unsure, then you may be in a little bit of trouble. Borrowing from one credit card to pay another is a dangerous thing too. Making only the minimum payment. If you're missing payments or paying late, if you're getting calls from creditors a lot that you owe money to, then you may be in financial trouble. If you have to get a second job or third job or first job just to pay off your credit card bills, then probably you're in a situation where you need to look at your spending and get some things under control. And again, if you guys ever need help with that sort of thing, you guys can always come by our office. We're happy to to talk through these kind of things with you, hook you up with resources, because there are resources in the area. Cash Course is a great tool, but there's resources in the area that can help you too if you guys are in a situation where you have debt and you're trying to get out of it and you need some extra help. So always feel free to let us know if you need that. Okay, so PYF means pay yourself first. So when it comes to saving money, so thinking back to that goal that you guys wrote down, it's really important that you make that, if that's something you really want to do that's really important to you, you make that a priority. And so one of the things you have to do to get there is to pay yourself first. So when you guys sit down and you do that budget, whatever that goal is that you're working towards, make that a line item on your budget. Say, I'm going to contribute X amount, maybe it's $20 or $50, whatever you can do. $50 of my income is going towards that each month. So putting it in that budget, making it a priority. Using payroll deduction if you have that option. I have it set up on mine, like when I get my paycheck, some money comes out of that automatically and goes to my savings. Like I don't even see the money. It doesn't get to me because it comes out first. And that's easy in that it never hits my checking account, so I can't go spend it before it goes to my savings account. So if you're working and you can do payroll deduction, do that. Automatic electronic funds transfer. You can set this up as well. It's very similar to payroll deduction, but maybe you say you want $20 a month to go to an investment or something. You can have that set up to automatically come out. So you're not responsible every month for making sure you make that payment. It's going to happen automatically. Putting extra money in savings versus spending. So if you find yourself at the end of the week with an extra $20 left over, instead of just going out and buying whatever with it, think back to that goal that you set and said, okay, I'm going to put this extra $20 towards that goal. It's going to get you there a little bit quicker. Putting dollars or loose change in the jar daily. This is something I do. This is just a habit that I have. Like anytime I go somewhere, if I pay for something in cash, I always give them a whole dollar bill and get the change back. Even if I have, if it's $9 and a penny, I give them a $10 bill and I take that change back. And then every so often I just empty my change purse into a little safe I have. And that's just money that I save up that, we use for whatever we want to do. But, so just little things like that can add up. And then setting a goal, we've really pretty much talked about that already. Okay, we've got a couple more minutes. Okay, so when it comes to savings, this is just giving you some options. So maybe you've decided, okay, I've got this goal, I want to start putting money towards it, but how should I do it? One of the easiest things you can do is a savings account. They're safe, your money's safe in a savings account, they're easy to set up. Kind of the negatives about it is you're not really going to earn much interest on your money because interest rates on savings accounts are really, really low, but it is a good way to keep that money in a spot where it's safe and protected and you know that it's there. Money market accounts are very similar, although sometimes you have to have a minimum amount of money to put in them, whereas savings account you can usually open with very, very little. Savings bonds are an option. They're safe. It's a little harder to get your hands on the money if you have savings bonds because you have to cash them in, but it's really not too bad. And then certificates of deposit. The thing to be aware of with that is that you're not going to have access to your money for a certain period of time if you do a CD, a certificate of deposit, but you earn a little bit higher interest on that. And then there's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, which you can also invest in if you're looking maybe a little bit more long-term with your goal. Okay, so just one more thing real quickly. Another important piece when it comes to budgeting is protecting your identity. So the last thing you want to happen is to have your identity stolen because that can put you in a really icky situation financially. So not carrying your social security card. So if you've been carrying that around in your wallet, take it out, put it in a safe or somewhere at home that's a safe space. Don't carry your PIN. So if you've got a debit card, don't write your PIN number on the back of it because your wallet's gone and there's your PIN right there for anybody to see. Buy a shredder and use it. You can buy little shredders for almost nothing. So when you get a bank statement or something with account numbers on it, shredding that information so somebody doesn't get a hold of it. Checking your credit card statements, bank statements, and your bills just to make sure. Even if you're not somebody who's good about balancing your checkbook, get online and check your account every once in a while. Just make sure that stuff's not popping up. I actually, a couple of years ago, and I never did figure out how it happened, somebody got my credit card number and bought like a $10,000 tractor on eBay with it. Well, I saw it right away because I was checking it, and so it was resolved pretty quickly and pretty easily, but if I had not seen it, then there could have been all kinds of other charges. And sometimes if that happens to you, if you don't catch it in a certain amount of time, you're not protected as well. So, you know, if you let 30 days lapse, then there's not going to be as much that can be done to help you out of that situation. Keeping your credit card, debit card, ATM cards in a safe place. So if you carry them around in your purse, just making sure your purse is secured if you set it down, same with your wallet. And then using secure sites when you're buying or purchasing things online. Okay, so the rest is just kind of recapping, and we're just about out of time anyway. We're 12:49. So quickly, do you guys have questions or thoughts about any of this information? Well, like I said, we have a couple more of these. We're going to be still talking about financial topics, but we'll be doing a little bit different things each time. So if you guys are interested in them, you can stop by and check out our dates. And if you guys want to grab some pizza on your way out, we have plenty, so go for it. Thanks for coming. And did everybody sign the sign-in sheet for me? Okay. We'll see you guys.
In the country you have Eddie bring the SLC at 2.
What?
Any people in the country you have Eddie bring the SLC at 2. I'm sure the law will take care of it.
I'm sure somebody will.
I'm gonna try to talk real quick.